Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Single Mom Trying. Tonight we are talking about a very serious subject. Um, we're going to be talking about awareness, fentanyl overdose awareness. And the reason I wanted to make this video, other than to help raise awareness, is that it is the 1 year anniversary since my sister died of an accidental fentanyl overdose or poisoning. Um, she left behind my niece, who is 9 at the time. She's 10 now. So we thought it was good that Mother's Day didn't fall on the same day every year, but it might be worse because she passed away on Mother's Day, and which was May 8th last year, and so, now we have to relive it on May 8th, and then we have to relive it again on Mother's Day. I'll never forget my niece sitting on the couch with the flowers and the nail polish she had picked out for her mom at the mall that day. She fell asleep on the couch with those items because we had not heard from my sister. And around midnight, we found out that she had passed away from a fentanyl overdose. They didn't know until several months later what it was. She had taken another drug, and apparently it was laced. As far as we know, the only other drug in her system was Molly, or MDMA. They call Molly now, I guess, on the streets. She had smoked it. She was with somebody, and evidently it had fentanyl in it, or she had taken something prior. We'll never know because she's not here. So this is an epidemic. It's been talked about. I don't think it's been talked about enough. I think the kids in middle school should be graphically told about it. The only way to stop this is education, raising awareness, also reducing the stigma. There's a stigma attached to drug addiction, and even the CDC agrees that drug addiction is a chronic disease, which is why also I think a lot of times you see families, it just goes down and down the line of, well, my dad was addicted, and his dad or mom was, and it just goes down this line. I mean, it also has to do with the way things kids see and how they grow up, things like that. I wanted to do this to help raise awareness, and yeah, we really do need to knock the stigma off. It's like, don't do drugs. Let's be quiet about it, and it's like a shameful thing to have been on drugs or to ask for help or need help, and it's very easy to get addicted to pain pills. And when you don't have those anymore, you turn to other opiates such as heroin, which nowadays you're getting fentanyl. You're getting fentanyl. It can be in any drug, pills, anything. And all it takes to kill an average sized person is enough that 2 grains of salt. 2 grains of salt is how much it would take to kill somebody. And I say poisoning because a lot of the people that are overdosing don't know they're doing fentanyl. I mean, anytime you do a drug, you're taking a gamble, but I know in Orlando, in just one weekend, the medical examiner's office had 15 teenagers, 18 and below, 15 in one weekend die from smoking marijuana that was laced with fentanyl. It is not safe to do drugs of any kind anymore. If you need help, there's not a lot of places to get it. There's methadone clinics, Suboxone doctors. Um, the hospital can help, and it depends on what state you're in. Um, we're in Florida, and it's a big problem here, and there's not a lot of help, places to get help, and there's a stigma. People don't want to, well, they don't want to admit anyway. They're in denial. I mean, the addicts are in denial a lot of the time. They don't want to admit that there's a problem to themselves, much less anybody else. Who wants to say I'm a drug addict and I have to have this drug every day to function. And a lot of people say, well, just don't do it. It's not that easy. It's just not that easy until you've been there and you walked in the shoes. It's just not that easy. Just to give some numbers, in 2020 there were almost 54,000 fentanyl overdose deaths. These are accidental deaths. 2021 they had jumped to almost 68,000. So far for 2023, we're about 6 months in, and there's been over 80,000 accidental fentanyl overdoses so far. So if it continues at that rate, that's a big jump. That's over 160,000 people. This is a serious issue. I don't think it's being talked about enough in schools. Um, it's a poison. It's a poison, and I know they are starting to say they're going to label people, or they're going to be murdered. If they find out who gave the drug, they're going to be put away for murder. But again, with the stigma, they just figure, oh well, they're a druggie. They did some drugs, so it's an overdose. Goodbye. That's not the case. Okay, someone who's smoking marijuana for anxiety every day, and that's just what they do, and they're buying it. They're not buying it at the right, at the dispensaries and whatnot. Or, there were grown-ups at a party and they were drinking and they thought it would be a good idea to get a little bit of cocaine, and all five of them died. All five dead, gone. And I know two of the people did CPR on the other three people, and the people who did CPR got a little bit of fentanyl in their mouth and on their hands just from helping the person who was overdosing, and they both overdosed. So that is how strong and powerful it is. Another thing is people who, with the tolerance, who do take it, they do it and they do it and do it. Eventually, they're going to overdose. I mean, there's stronger versions of it. I think it's called carfentanil. I don't know how it could get any stronger than 2 grains of salt killing somebody, but it really we got to raise public awareness on this. We've got to get rid of the stigma. If you need help, ask a friend, ask a family member. There are places to get help. Go on the internet, look up rehab centers, methadone clinics in your area. I know, they say methadone switching one drug to another. Methadone will take away that withdrawal, and you won't die of a fentanyl overdose. On the other hand, people who don't know they're taking fentanyl and they think I'm taking a safe drug, I'm just taking a little piece of Xanax, and I'm just taking a little hit off of this, this weed here, and they die. And they die. And it's really sad. My sister was my best friend, and she's gone. This is the longest I have gone without seeing her. And she's my only sister, my best friend. And if I ever didn't have a friend, I had her, and she's not here. Her daughter wakes up at night crying for her. and there's nothing to do because she is gone. And this drug took her life, and it has taken so many people's lives. So, just to raise public awareness on this, I mean, do whatever you can. I know the elementary schools are, some of them are starting to get involved in a fentanyl awareness program. I don't know how many elementary schools are, but definitely by middle school. And I talked to my own children about this early on just because drug addiction runs in our family. I personally had struggled with it in the past. And um, I mean, I told him about it from the rip. And he, and then, he told me, he's being offered drugs in middle school and it's going on. It's just, you've just got to get the facts laid out. You got to get the facts laid out for them because it's so dangerous. So dangerous. I know there's a lot of other things going on in the world and people dying, but I just wanted to talk about this, especially since it's been a year since she died, and I don't even know if I've been able to properly grieve, because I had to stay strong for the kids. My niece doesn't have a father either around, so she was adopted by my parents, and so I'm here and I help with her a lot, and my son is here, but nothing. No matter what we do, no matter how much we love her, we can't bring her mom back. The best way to stop this is prevention, education. Talk to your kids, get in their lives, know what they're doing. It's not just kids and teenagers. This is affecting people of all ages, races. This drug does not discriminate. This drug will kill you. And it does not smell. It has no taste. You do not know. There's no way to know. Unless you have a prescription bottle with your name on it that came from a pharmacy, do not take anything. Drug addiction is a chronic disease. I know I had mentioned that before. Some people maybe won't agree with that, but even if you become a drug addict, it's in your system forever, even if you fight it and get over it and then you take an opiate, you're going to be right back where you were. It's just not a good thing. And I just wanted to come on tonight and if anyone has any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. I have a lot of experience with addiction, and I know a lot about addiction. So, yeah, I just wanted to make this video, and I wanted to dedicate it to my sister. She died a month before she turned 45 years old and left behind a 9-year-old daughter who is broken, and a mother, and a father, and a grandmother, and a sister, and her nephew. My son is really sad. I don't know, there's not really any words to describe it, but just total grief and no answers. We don't know what happened in the final hours. We don't know what she took. She didn't even have marijuana in her system. She just made this one choice, and it took her life. And that's it. So you guys be sure to like, share this video. Let's get awareness out there. It's real. It's out there. It's happening. It does not discriminate. I'm just countless people are dying. So be sure to subscribe and like the video if you like the video, and share it. Share it. We've got to get the awareness out there. We've got to educate people. So I love you all. Be safe. And everybody have a good night. Till next time, this is Single Moms trying to raise fentanyl overdose awareness. Have a good night. Thanks, guys.